State your name.
I'm Ryan Minster, band director for Clemens County High School.
Alright, as a band director, what does that job enlist you to do?
I teach the band class, I teach a percussion class, most any instrumental music that goes on here, I'm the one who facilitates that. I run the marching band, jazz band next semester.
Okay. What kind of, certifications or, guts, per se, does it take to be a band director? What kind of, attributes does it take?
Well, the paperwork, I have certification to teach K through 12 instrumental music. Got a Bachelor of Music Education. As far as guts, gotta be able to bounce back from a lot of stuff. I mean, coming out of college, I had a lot of great experiences with all this really wonderful musicians I got to play with, got to work under some really, really talented people who helped me become a really good musician. And so you get all this really, really good music, and then you come into the high school or middle school world, and it doesn't sound like that. And you have to figure out how to make it sound like that, and how to not get upset that it doesn't sound like that yet, because obviously it's not going to.
Yeah.
Resiliency, perseverance, figuring stuff out.
Adversity.
Adversity builds character.
I lost my train of thought. Sorry. What led you to be a band director?
Well, I around about 11th or 12th grade, I figured, you know what, I really like this whole music thing. I should pursue a career in music. And I went off to college majoring in music. Didn't know if I was going to do education, performance, or start writing stuff or whatever. But I did that, and I figured, it's tough to get a steady job as a trombone performer. So maybe I should just go the education route. And then eventually I realized I could get a steady job as a trombone performer. I could handle that. That could be fun. So I had to decide: do I want to focus more on my musicianship, or do I want to focus more on helping other people? And I figured the best way to make a difference in the world is to work in the public high school.
Looking back, obviously you wouldn't say senior year, because that's obviously where you thought, oh, okay, I'm going to pursue a career in music, and that wasn't really, we all know that was ages ago. Looking back, maybe say freshman year, did you ever see yourself becoming a musician, or not? Well, obviously, yes, you saw yourself becoming a musician, but did you ever see yourself working as a band director at Clemens County High School? Not necessarily this school, but just in general as a band director.
Anytime you're part of any organization, I think, if you spend enough time around somebody, you think, I could do that. And so, as much time as I'd spent around the band, even by that point it was only through a middle school band, but, hang around the band director and I could do that. I might do this a little differently. But
how long, when you went to college, what colleges did you go to, and for how long did you go to these colleges?
I was at Furman University for 4 years.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. So, how long were you out of college before you came to teach?
It was, I graduated in May of 2014, and...
From Furman?
From Furman.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. From high school. Sweet college in there, yeah. But yeah, I graduated then, and I'd been looking for a job for a little while, since about April. Furman's in South Carolina, so I started looking in South Carolina, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm from North Carolina, I might look in North Carolina too. Looked all throughout the summer, had 7 interviews with middle schools, because at first I thought I wanted to be a middle school band director. I applied for the job at Clemens County Middle School. They asked, hey, do you want to interview for the high school job as well? I said no. And I interviewed for the middle school job, and when they told me I didn't get it, they said, hey, the high school needs somebody. And I said, okay, I'll interview for that. Interviewed for it, got a call the next day. Band camp started 2 weeks after that. So there was, as soon as I got the call, I had to hit the ground running, getting stuff ready and set up. And yeah.
No time to relax for you?
Not at all, no. I was either sweating the whole summer because I didn't have a job yet, or sweating because I finally had one and had to get to it.
So, how would you how would you explain your college experience? Like, what kind of life did you have in college?
What kind of life did I have in college? Well, there are certainly a number of stories I won't tell you. But, yeah, I mean, it was, as far as the academics, I studied just general music, music theory, learning how to become a better musician for 2 years. At Furman, the music education track and the music performance track and the music theory, music anything track is the exact same for the first 2 years. And then after that, once you've got the ground-based knowledge, you can explore the other stuff.
So at Furman, is it a college or is it not a tech school, but is it like a tech school but for music? Like when you went there, did you have to go and get your standard English class and your math class? Yes,
I had to take, we call them GERs, General Education Requirements. Had to knock those out of the way before I did much anything else.
Alright. So what musical related courses did you take in high school? I mean not high school, college.
College, yeah. There was music theory, there was a lot of that, music history. Once I got into the specific music education classes, there were like woodwind methods where we spend a semester, here's a clarinet, here's how you play clarinet, and I had to learn, here's a flute. I had to learn how to play all the instruments so that I could teach other people how to play those instruments.
Yeah.
I'm a boss of the flute.
Are you really?
I'm a boss of the flute. No, I was pretty good at it for having spent 3 weeks on it. But yeah, those are probably my favorite because I got a break from trombone and had trombone lessons the entire time. Had to be good enough at trombone to give a recital of it. 30-minute recital junior year, another 30-minute recital senior year. So
is it like a requirement for every musician to give a recital, or is it just like, okay, who wants to do a 30-minute recital?
It was a requirement to do one of them. I did 2 of them because I wanted to keep working. Didn't want to get sloppy.
Lazy. Didn't want to get that senioritis.
Yeah.
All right. Any, not to get too personal, but any hardships that you've had to face throughout these last, say, 8 years or 10, give or take?
The summer of unemployment was a little bit rough. I mean, it was summer, so I wasn't going to be working anyway, even if I had a job. But the constant in the back of my mind: am I going to get hired? Am I going to have to find something else to do?
Yeah, or you're gonna have to change your whole career path.
Right. But I knew that this is what I'm designed for. This is what I'm being called to do. Without getting too religious on you, but
no, absolutely.
Yeah, this is what I'm.
Understand.
This is where I'm supposed to be. Okay. The one I'm supposed to be doing. So I knew that there would be a way that I would get to do that.
Any words of wisdom that don't include Bill's character?
Life throws you curveballs. You don't wind up where you thought you were going to wind up. And if you do wind up where you thought you were going to wind up, it's a completely different thing than you thought it was going to be. So be ready for whatever different stuff happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
One, two, three.